Hey everybody, this is Emie
and Kylie,
and welcome back to This Is Bullshit with Emie and Kylie.
Today this is going to be part 2 with Chris-Ann. Just for legal purposes, everything here is alleged and not being presented as 100% true.
Before we get started, let's go ahead and jump into our icebreaker. Never have I ever.
Hey Kylie, can you play a game?
What game?
Never have I ever.
Sure.
Never have I ever pretended to be a sweet, innocent, pure person for the internet to become a mommy influencer.
Oh my god. Never have I ever pretended to show that I cared for a child.
Never have I ever begged someone to have a baby with me, and then because the relationship didn't work out, just say fuck them kids.
Never have I ever bought a promise ring that cheated on someone.
Oh wait, here's a good one. Never have I ever been actively telling somebody that I want to move in with them just to get them to dog sit for me for 9 months and ghost them.
Oh.
Ooh. Never have I ever got pets as love bombing gifts.
Oh my god. You talking about
Yeah.
never have I ever told somebody we're always going to be friends and then ghost them just to have a girlfriend a week later.
Fuck you, Danny. On behalf of Kylie from me. Fuck you, bro. $20 says he listens to this because we know he creeps your shit. So fuck you, Danny.
Never have I ever chosen one child over the other.
Never have I ever been mad because a toddler's birthday wasn't about me. Oh my god, I got a good one about this motherfucker, okay? Never have I ever photoshopped myself so poorly it looks like someone took a bite out of my waist. Cough, ex-husband.
Have I ever told my significant other that I don't have money for rent and then go out and try to buy weed?
Never have I ever spent all of my money while in Germany on rotation, so my family was almost homeless.
Never have I ever proposed to somebody in the psych ward. I've been proposed to. My ex was in the psych ward and like fucking got down on one knee and tried asking me to marry him. And I said no.
There was a guy. He didn't propose to me, but I have a psych ward story now. Okay, so listen. Okay, so the last
story. I need to go to.
Okay, well, after the last time I went to the mental health unit, was my last and final time. Okay, I met this super fucking hot, charismatic guy.
Mm-hmm.
Just put in perspective, I was the only good-looking girl in said psych ward. Okay, that was like our age, in my opinion. And of course, he targeted me because I'm like not very talkative at this point in my life. I'm quiet, whatever. And he's like this hot fucking jock type person, whatever. Fucking targets me, this motherfucker. And I bet you if I reached out to him and unblocked him, he'd fucking be like, hey, how's it going? But then I helped him get a job and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he fucked my high school best friend and was fucking him and putting her through torment after I was like he was done putting me through torment because I wouldn't deal with it. Big game week. And sorry. So bad. Was not worth it. But his personality, for some fucking reason, it's like sucks you in. You know when they talk about how like serial killers are very charismatic and like, that's what it was like. Like it was like kind of hypnotizing. Like when I reflect on it, and it was fucking weird. But yeah.
So you almost dated a serial killer.
Yeah, he did throw his baby mom down a flight of steps. I found out later. So the baby's fine. He has 2 kids. I don't know if he's in their lives, but I know he has 2 kids. To my knowledge.
Let's see. Oh, never have I ever tried to commit suicide and then have my parents blame me for it.
I'm sorry.
Like I called a welfare check on this dude. And then when I went to go talk to his parents, because like his dad and I were cool, I thought his mom and I were cool.
Mm-hmm.
To be like, do you guys know what's going on with him? Because like this point we've been dating for like almost 2 years. Like marriage was kind of being talked about in like the future, like ready to live together. And his mom was just like, no, this is all your fault. You put him through too much stress. He stresses all the time trying to make you happy. Like blah 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 blah. And then his dad was like, you need to shut up. Like this is in no way her fault.
That's fucked up. Okay, this one's for our one listener in Australia. Hey, Chloe, how's it going? Never have I ever made friends with a girl over the internet in a whole different country and make up false stories about wanting to move and be with her and then also fucking their other friend that is nearby and then also cheating on all their girlfriends with me and said friend over the phone and with the other person because they're in the same country.
Holy fuck.
Chloe knows what I'm talking about. Hey girl, I miss you. I have a care package for her I need to send. But oh yeah, that was crazy. The last time, every time he gets in like relationships with girls, like they go crazy and they blow up my phone and they're like, "Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?" And I'm like, "Chill. I'm in the United States. It's okay." Like, and they block me and then they try to fuck with Chloe and block her, and
That's ridiculous.
yeah, I think he's on ice again, to be honest, which is meth. But
When you
yeah.
said X, I thought like a short term for like ecstasy.
No, I said ice.
Oh, ice. You said
Yeah,
X.
ice. Which I wonder if it's any better than America, but I doubt it. Oh shit. I've never done it before. I can't even say. But wait, we can call my brother and ask him.
Let's do it.
Never have I ever stole from my grandparents so much when they died. We lost their family home.
Never have I ever moved into somebody's house and completely trashed it just to try and do a bitch after I moved out.
Never have. Bitch, you's right. You's right. I deleted her on everything yesterday.
Good job.
Thank you. And that's the gavel. There's our intro.
Think you hot shit, but you not shit. Brush your teeth, your breath stank, cause you talk shit. You need a warning label that says toxic. This right here, this the line, and you crossed it.
In today's episode with Chrisanne, we are tagging along with her while she gets her lashes done. So if you hear her talking about her lashes, that's why. Anyways, enjoy.
I was just with my cousin. He said, "Tell you that you have a big head." I said, "If she fucks up my lashes because of you." I tried to get what I could off. I'm pretty sure I got them all off, and I tried to wash it a bunch, but I feel like there still might be.
No, they look really clean.
Okay, good.
Good
Hey,
morning.
to come to my friend Guy's house too. Guy has a whole office set
Okay.
up in his house. He's worked for AT&T for the last 9 years, and now he's like the head of sales and makes commission and works from home, and it's so chill there. It's so nice.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I think I've only seen Guy with his beef on Facebook, like when all that crazy stuff randomly will pop off. But
Yeah, poor
Just
guy.
like-
He lives with cancer. He like just beat cancer not too long ago.
oh my goodness.
Yeah. We
Well,
went to see him.
Guy, if Guy is listening, congratulations on beating cancer.
Yeah. I love Guy's mom, Fran, and Aunt Rhonda, and cousin Emmett. I love the whole family. They're so nice. I want to do a little bit short. Like usually I do the hybrid.
Okay.
So I just want them to not be volume. I don't want them as long or as I just like them really full though, if that makes sense.
Okay.
You know what you're doing. Do you want me to close my eyes?
In a second.
Okay.
Chris, can
Yeah,
we get an update on like you the past couple weeks, because things seem to be moving quickly for you. I think they move quickly in general.
Yeah.
Since the
So-
last time that we spoke, but
The last time that we spoke, okay, so I tried to hand in my keys to Godfathers like 3 times.
Okay.
And every
so
time
no more
giving them
Godfathers.
back.
Godfathers
No,
is
I'm
done.
literally- Okay, yeah, they called the police on me, bro,
Oh my
because
goodness.
they owe me money. And like, I can't even be like, oh, it's Mark, the director of operations. No, it's my own mother, and it's the owner's son. Not even her, because I don't even want to tell Miss. She's in India right now. I'm literally done. Like, I turn in my keys for the final time. I'm done.
Sorry, because I
Oh, yeah.
know, like in our last episode you were on, you was like, "F yeah, Godfathers." So that's a quick switch up for our journey.
Yes, it is. But I'm already making more money by not being there, getting taken advantage of by people that are inconsiderate.
What's the next step for you then?
I honestly, I got 2 baby dads that owe me some child support, and I'm unemployed. So if I really wanted to, I could just go read books to my kids in the library all day, because we all got a library card. So
That sounds like a good deal. Just go
Honestly,
do that.
yeah, and then I could study up on like, stuff that I need to know, like, because I feel like I know more than my lawyer does at this point. So if I had time to actually sit there and like read and study, or even go back to school, like,
That would be a good idea.
yeah,
going
because then
back
all
to
my
school.
loans, yeah, they'll all be in like deferment, the ones that I do owe, because I started a business administration degree when I was 21, but Brylan was only 3 months old, and like her dad put me through. Well, we already talked about that. So yeah, I do
Yeah.
kind of want to finish college. That would be really cool if I could have the
You
time.
could, well, and you being a single mom of 2 kids, there's definitely grants and scholarships you could easily apply for and go out Belmont College.
Right. That's what I was thinking. But I want to do, yeah, maybe I am just going to, I probably know all the people out there still too, like all the teachers, everything, like in our area, just for being in the Appalachian foothills since we're so secluded from everybody. So there's also grants for that too.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Anytime I've gone to college, I end up dropping out. So I never dropped out about 5 times now because I don't have the capacity to like sit down and do all that stuff.
Right. Right. That's why I don't know if like I want to start like a whole semester, if I want to just do it kind of,
One class at a time,
Agreed.
ease yourself
Yeah, maybe
into it.
yeah, maybe just get some like certifications instead of like an actual degree. I don't know. We'll see when it happens. I guess get to that bridge when we cross it.
I think it benefited me going to JVS. Shout out Belmont Career Center.
Yes, I went
Because
there too.
I got certs in graphics and web design and a whole list of things that I probably wouldn't think that I know how to do, but if I sat down and did it, I could do it.
Right.
It's helped me get numerous
This
jobs.
is a really good school to go to. I agree. I went there my junior and senior year.
It's a good school if you go there and don't fuck around. Most of the kids go there for
I went there just so I could sell nickel and dime bags out of my shoe and smoke cigarettes at the college property. But while I was there, I got like a bunch of marketing and management experience my senior year, and then my junior year, like I know a bunch of medical terminology and a bunch of like healthcare things because of them. So
You want to know something funny?
what's up?
Pretty much all the girls in like the nursing class my senior year was knocked up. Like every single one.
Oh wow, I was thought you were gonna I was thinking you was about to talk about the dental assistant girls because they was
There's
wild.
something else. There was one I almost fought when we was because she went to Bel Air too. But
There was this girl from Barnesville or Scio or somewhere out in Guernsey County. I don't effing know. But she was trying to call my friend Cherish the N-word. And I remember she was a big old bitch too. And she took like auto class. So she always had a wrench in her hand. And at lunch class, at lunch, I was like, I called her a country fried bitch and all types of stuff.
oh my
People were
goodness.
so rude at JVS. They really was. They was rude as fuck.
Because most of them are like the country bumpkins.
The place was wild. Godfathers, I guess. It kind of hurts my feelings to say that because, just been there for so long and like my mom's been there for so long, but it's okay. I feel a lot like better. I feel like I just got out of a like really abusive relationship, so it's awesome.
Proud of you for just saying fuck it and leaving and knowing your worth.
Yeah, because like if not, what was I gonna do? Just be there until like waste my whole life until I'm almost 50? Like, no, I'm cool. I'll be 30 September 26th this year, so I don't really have time to waste anymore.
So many of us waste our time in our early 20s.
Yeah.
And now we're to the point we look back and we're like, what the fuck was I doing?
Yeah, definitely.
The next step in your journey, just momming it up.
Yeah, it's my time to shine. I'm definitely gonna spend as much time as I can with the kids. That's what I've been doing. Everybody thinks I'm like on drugs again. Even like Brylan's dad was like, "You're on drugs." Like, buddy, you wish I was on drugs. If I was on drugs, you guys win.
So you think that's like probably like a huge misconception right now is like everyone just is assuming you're on drugs because you're like, fuck the club.
I guess because I'm like, fuck the club and I haven't been getting a lot of sleep. But actually the last 3 nights I've got really good sleep and I'm starting to be able to eat again and I'm just like, everything's good. Like, I'm fine.
That can be a difficult transition leaving the club because like you were up at night, like you're working at night. So you need to transition back to a normal day to day.
Honestly, it wasn't hard because for the last few years I've been doing just daytime work. I was being nice picking up shifts at nighttime for them. Like I was the daytime operations manager, like for all 3 clubs. I had all and I still could have all the keys if I wanted them, but I don't want them. Like I want nothing to do with the place that would call the police on me or let somebody come in there and call the police on me. I've
Yeah.
seen so much shit happen there, and I've never called the police, but not everybody has the same heart as I do. So really all I did was use my key to open the door, and then I went to the restroom, and I was in the restroom for 2 minutes, and then like every single security guard was there, like, and I felt bad for the security because they were like, wow, Christine, we don't want to do this. I'm like, y'all ain't doing nothing to me. I'm gonna go give Mark the keys and ask him where my money is. He owes me money. Bottom line, I just want my fucking money. Tried to tell them that I snuck in through the back and I was trespassing, and I was like, actually, it's all on camera, but I'm sure he won't want to give you guys the cameras because, you know, they only like to give the camera footage to while she's in there getting her ass handed to her. So, but you know, I orchestrated all that too, according to
I saw that post on Facebook.
yeah, and daughter have teamed up with my sister and another girl. I won't even mention her name because she's so unimportant to me, but they were all at my daughter's little school event too, and literally cussed me out at the elementary school in front of the whole school, all because I went and said hi grandma because she was standing next to my nephew. So I'm like, hey, how are you? And then comes and she's like, don't fucking talk to me. I was just like, I didn't say anything because I wasn't talking to her. And then like she looked down at Brylan with this nasty look on her face and was like, you look really pretty, Brylan. And then like kept cussing me out. Me and Brylan just kind of backed away, and it was just great. It was awesome. Just a whole entire room filled with like people that don't like me, but there was more people that do like me than don't. So it was cool. Like, I don't know. I was just there for my daughter. I was just trying to make her happy. When we got back in the car, when it was just me and Brylan, she was like, Mom, can I say a cuss word? And I started laughing. And I was like, what do you want to say, Brylan? She's talking about, I was going to tell you don't talk to my motherfucking mom like that, you bitch. Something. She said, fat ass bitch. I was cracking up because I don't let Brylan cuss. So I was expecting like a damn or something like that. And she went off.
Tell her she needs to use her brains for bigger purposes, better purposes.
That's what I told her. I took Brylan down to that gym. What day was that? Friday or Saturday? I don't know. My days are running together. We went to the gym to see Josh from YNC and then like Rick Lay and all them. Brady was there from the Cloud, but they do like something in Bel Air every Wednesday for the kids and it's free. Like Brylan put them little pink boxing gloves on and she really might beat her ass one day. I just don't know. Like, I would never let anybody take me to that level of anger at a kid's event in front of my own child. Like, I felt so bad for my nephew, honestly.
Okay, so with all your free time on your hands, you know, you said your hands now, you said that like you could go to the library with your kids or whatever, but like what about Chris Ann and Chris Ann's self-care? Like what are you going to do? Are you going to, besides, you know, the possibility of going back to school, is there any hobbies that you want to pick up or old hobbies you want to get back into?
So I'm going to stay in counseling, of course, because they already sent me my March calendar, which I was so happy about. But I like to make scrapbooks. Like, I know that that's like a thing of the past, but like I can make the coolest scrapbooks ever. So
I think that's so much fun.
Yeah, it's really fun. I can't wait to show you mine. I've already started working on it, but it's going to be like, I'm going to just keep adding to it and stuff, but I only like do it when I have time. But yeah, I've always like making scrapbooks. I'm really good at that.
And then another question I wrote down. If money wasn't a factor, what would you do with your time?
Oh, I'd just be at the beach all the time and on an airplane. I'd be everywhere. I'd literally,
Everywhere.
me and my kids would just be everywhere. Yep, we just
Traveling would be a hobby and just homeschool.
Yes, homeschool. I really do feel like I could teach my kids a lot, but I also would want like tutors and stuff to help me because I also want to do stuff for myself too. I know that sounds like selfish, but
no, it's not selfish. Like you're entitled. Like yes, we have kids, and
yeah, like
90% of our time is to them, but we also deserve to have time to ourselves.
Yeah, my little 10% that I get to myself, I don't want to spend it teaching them shit. I'd rather like spend it like I don't know, like taking pictures with them or like eating or feeding them or just something that's like good for them that they'll remember, like when I'm not
There-
here anymore.
I don't know what the stipulations on homeschool in Ohio is, but there's definitely resources out there if you wanted to look into it. But like homeschooling isn't as intense as people make it to be. Like homeschooling for like a preschooler is like not even an hour a day. And that could be taking them to the zoo and learning about animals. Like that's
Right.
homeschool for the day. Like
Well,
it's super simple and more activities.
like they might have to be in Bel Air schools and get homeschooled by me because I like that Bryland's there finally with all the same people that I was with. Like, I don't know. I just really think Bel Air schools are like really good.
I agree, and I don't hear really many too bad things. Like they're one of the top schools in that area, which is insane because like we went there. But I'm excited to move back home and have Ambrose be a Big Red too. That's gonna be
Oh
exciting.
my gosh, it is. I forgot he's gonna be out there too. I love that.
Yeah, yes.
I think you'll
yes.
really like it. Like once you see how it is now, it's so much different from when we went there. Like I started at West Bel Air when it was the old brick school, and then they built that new school when I started in second grade. So it's really cool to just like be back in the building, see my kids there, see all the same people.
Yeah, because like I feel a lot of the teachers from Bel Air, like once they start teaching there, they're lifers. Like
Yeah,
they
Mrs.
love
Dunlap's
the
still
district.
there. Do you remember
Is
Mrs.
she?
Dunlap? Yeah,
I
she's
do.
still there, yes.
I know when Gage was in elementary school, Miss Garrick was still like working in the office, and Miss Wasco.
Yeah,
But
I
I
didn't
don't
see
know.
her, but I seen.
I don't think they are anymore.
Okay, yeah, I wonder where Mrs. Workman is. I don't know if she's still out there or not. I think she might be.
And then Miss Smith teaches at the middle school now. I think she's
No
teaching
way.
seventh. I think she's teaching seventh grade.
I love that. Miss
The
Smith is
last time I
awesome.
heard from her. Do you want to know a fun fact about her?
What is it?
She collects pens.
Really?
Yes, she loves to collect like different pens. And I would always like find the dumbest pens when we would go on trips and whatnot. And I'd be like, here you go. And like I got her a pen that was like the cap's a flower pot and has a flower on top, or like a paintbrush pen or whatever. Like also she's obsessed with South Park, and Cartman's her favorite.
I'm crying.
And so she had like little Cartmans around her room.
That's amazing. I never knew that. And I was like I was in her,
class.
what was it? It was like my sophomore year, I believe. It might have been my freshman year. I don't know. It could have been both. It was an English, it was an advanced English class. I was like, felt so out of place with all the preppy kids, and there I was.
Yeah, that's how it was for me too. And then I would skip sophomore year. I'd skip most of my classes and I'd go hang out in her room because I didn't like the teachers. Like I'd get my work and just leave.
Yeah, exactly. It's cool that there's teachers out there though that like connect with students like that.
Oh yeah, she definitely. If I didn't have her freshman and sophomore year, I think my life would have been a lot worse because she was very influential in that sense of like making sure that I was okay.
I learned a lot. I learned more in her class than I did in Miss Durant's class. I liked Miss Durant. Like I liked what she said, like how she taught us, but I didn't like her attitude as a person. But again,
She
you're not
kicked me out of class because I was sick.
Yeah,
like a week. I had the
she's
flu.
just not nice. She was not nice like Miss Smith was.
She didn't. I think my brothers had a partake in her not liking me, just like Dossie. But
yeah,
Miss Durant kicked me out of class one time because I was sick with the flu for a week and didn't know we had a test. So she was mad at me that I was out of school for a week and I wasn't told there was a test, and I wasn't prepared for it. So I was kicked out of class and told to go sit in the hallway. I did not go sit in that hallway. I went to go hang out with Miss Smith.
Did you have Mr. Ostrander?
No, I didn't. He was still teaching when I was there, but I didn't have him.
Oh my God, girl. His bird flew on my shoulder one day and I knew it was going to happen. I'm scared of birds, literally terrified of them. And I just knew, I'm like, why is he letting this fucking bird fly around this classroom? Like one day I was wearing a red hoodie and I didn't know when it was going to happen. Just knew it was going to happen. And this bird going to come at me. I freaked out. Like, thank God. He's lucky that I didn't accidentally like swat the bird like really hard.
Like
I wanted
third
to
grade.
really, really bad, but I was so terrified I didn't know what to do.
High school is something else.
But Belair High School is fun. Not really. That's why I went to JVS.
I had my sophomore year was my first time ever experiencing CCAP.
Oh my
We
God.
got
Are you
into a
serious?
fight.
Every time I
Yeah,
went to CCAP, it was for like 10 days. It was stupid. I was always stuck out
I
there.
I had 3 days, but like in retrospect, I was like the quiet person. I didn't really do much to defend
So
myself.
by the time you got to high school, CCAP was in the basement. When I had to start going to CCAP, it was out in Bethesda at that old school.
Yeah, no, it was in the basement. And I asked, because Mr. Roseberry was our principal at that time, I asked Mr. Roseberry, I was like, can I just stay down here for the rest of the year? And he
Oh
looked
my-
at me, he's like, Miss McCorkle, we can't do that. There's only a couple months left in the school year. And I was like, so it'd be so much easier just to leave me down here.
Right.
He was like, no, we can't do that. And I was like, so you're going to send me back to class with the girl that I fought, who I have to sit next to in nearly every single class.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I mean, some of the people, I don't know. I always liked Mr. Roseberry up until not very many people know this, but there was a bus driver named Mike that used to drive the Belair kids to JVS, and I used to sit up front and I would talk to him all the time because I had just started working at Melman's. And he was like, oh, my ex-wife used to work at Melman's. And he like pulls out his flip phone and he's like, I'll show you a picture of her. So he shows me a picture of his ex-wife, and then he like moves the little arrow over to the right, and it's like a fucking dick pic. And I'm 16 and I like just sat down and didn't say anything. I heard it and sat down because it caught me off guard and I didn't tell anybody. And then I told my friend Lexi about it, and Lexi's like, you have to tell. And I was like, no, I don't want to tell. Lexi made me tell, and then he got like fired or whatever. But then Mr. Roseberry reviewed the tape of the bus of him showing me, and Mr. Roseberry literally had the nerve to be like, well, you didn't look very upset. Okay, I'm
You were
sorry
in
that I didn't look
shock.
very. I had like all kinds of people looking at me crazy, like acting like I made this up, or like, oh, why would you tell? Like, I wasn't even gonna tell, like, but looking back, I'm glad I did. But it was just crazy because we couldn't, like, my mom didn't even get the thing in time to show up for court because we didn't get it in our post office box. So I could have had a huge lawsuit and never did. Like, there's a lot of shit that I could have did with that, but didn't. But Mr. Roseberry lost my respect as a young female when he said that I didn't look very upset. Like, I'm not getting paid to act upset. So,
Oh, do you have a good life motto, like a Chris Ann life motto?
I have a bunch, but the first one that comes to my head is from the movie Talladega Nights, and it's, if you don't chew big red gum, then fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. Um, I don't know. I like the saying, let go and let God. I like the saying, this too shall pass. My favorite one is that there's always brighter days ahead. I have a lot. I don't know. I've never like had to sit down and try to make up my own, but I could do that.
You should do that because we can do t-shirts and decals and
Oh my gosh, we really could.
mhm,
Oh,
mhm.
I'm gonna have to think of a really good one. I'm gonna ask excuse me. I'm gonna ask Jared. Did I get to tell you about Jared yet? I think I have a boyfriend finally.
Okay, tell me. Let's get tea on Chris Ann's love life.
Okay, so I thought I had a boyfriend for like a whole year. And the whole time I found out he was tricking and paying people to sleep with him and everything else. And it really hurt my feelings. So me and him both cried about it a few Mondays back. And I mean, we're still friends and stuff. Like, he's still cool and I really respect him and his family. But it's like, it hurt my feelings really bad because I really was trying to be good for the last year and just share my energy with one person. Didn't realize I was still sharing my energy with multiple people. So that was like a big lesson I had to learn. So then, but there was this man in between me thinking I had this boyfriend that actually came and saved me one morning. I like had a flat tire, and I didn't even know. I thought he was a fake Facebook account, like trying to call me. And I was like, dude, I don't have time for this. Like, I can't even read your name. His name on Facebook's in Hebrew. So I'm like, who the fuck is this? So he ended up being really cool. And he pulled up in this really cool car. And I came outside barefoot, because why wouldn't I? And I got in his car. And I was like, this is crazy. I don't even know this man. But I didn't realize that I was already at the club the night before, blacked out drunk, and didn't remember talking to him. So there's that. So I wake up. I have my phone's on like 2%. This Hebrew name is calling me off Facebook. I was just like, well, fuck it. What's the worst thing that could happen? My life's already in shambles. Just go. So I went, and he like took me to get water and Red Bull and headache medicine. And I was like, I don't drink energy drinks. And he's like, just try it. So I tried it, and it was like really good. Then he took me to Carlito's for like breakfast, which was really nice. And then he took me to the tire shop. I mean, I paid for my own tire, but he like pulled up to my car and like got this tool out of the back of his car and like took my tire off, took me to Blyfus so I could like get the new tire put on it. Then we went and had breakfast. Then we went back and got the tire, and then he put it on where my car was. And nobody's ever been that nice to me ever in my life. So I should have known then, like, he was the one. But of course, I thought I had a boyfriend. So I like, we talked and stuff, but I just kept it like at a friend level. I never, I just didn't. I pretty much showed him no interest when I should have. So we've known each other since like September something of last year. It's been like 170 days we've known each other now, but we've just been like friends. And I think it's been like maybe 2 weeks now. I decided maybe a week and a half. Anyway, I called. Every time I like am feeling sad, I end up calling him, and he like ends up showing up, and it was really cool. Like the last time that I called him, I was like, I need a hug, and he was like, well, pull up. And I'm like, all right. So I went and gave him a hug, and then we went to go visit my Aunt Shannon and stuff in the hospital a few days later, or a week later, I'm not sure, but like he's like literally like, he keeps telling me I'm the female version of him, but like I feel like he's like the male version of me. It's crazy.
That makes me so excited for you because you deserve someone, I like to call it, on the same level, the same.
Oh, Emie, just listen. He's an engineer.
Look at you.
He's an engineer for a company that's like 14 minutes away from the prison my dad was at.
See, look at you. It's a sign. Your dad sent
I
him.
know. I know. Maybe he did.
See, but that makes me so happy. That makes me so happy. You deserve
Yeah,
it. You
and
deserve
he's from, like,
happiness.
Thanks. He's from Pittsburgh. He does a lot of like behind the scenes things, like for music videos that I had no idea about either. So I don't know, like I actually really like him just because the way he treats me, but it's like a bonus that he doesn't sell drugs. Like it's awesome that I'm finally to that point where I'm like, damn, you really shouldn't fuck with drug dealers. That's why your life's in shambles. So yeah, it took me 29 years to like find him, but he's so cool.
I feel like though you still needed to learn those lessons, and that's why you went through what you went through, which sucked. But you've learned the important lessons, so you could be the person you were meant to be for him.
Right.
Vice versa. He's experienced
I never
things.
thought of that. Yeah.
Versus, and then he's probably had life experiences as well that he needed to experience to get to you and be the person he needs to be for you.
Well, I think that's why, like, I'm glad that I, like, was so, I don't want to say I'm ignorant, but I was ignorant. Like, I didn't know. But at the same time, I'm glad the way everything worked out because I don't think we were ready for each other back in September, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
But yeah, he's really cool.
I'm so glad. I can't wait to meet him when I come home.
Yeah, you have to meet him. He's like, I've been posting pictures of him and stuff, but I still don't know how to fucking say his name on Facebook, that Hebrew shit. I don't want to put his whole government name out there, so cut it out. But his name's Jared Scott. He's so cool.
It's going to be so exciting. Maybe when we come home and after I get the studio set up. Once I get the studio set up, we're going to do like video and not just
Oh, okay.
voice.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be fun.
Yes. I want to get some backdrops, some... I would like to get a dog who minds her own business.
Right. That's okay. He could be in the background.
She just wants attention. I got all 3 dogs staring at me because I keep giving Luna treats, so she'll be quiet.
Oh
But
my
the other two are being quiet. So Luna will give you a look of like, I'm gonna talk.
Said she's ready to be on the podcast.
She's in many episodes in the background, whining and complaining about whatever. She's
Oh
got that husky mouth.
Yeah. Are you bringing them back here with you? Probably, right?
Well, yeah. I'm bringing Luna and Moo. The other dog that I have here, I'm just dog sitting for a friend who's on a rotation in Germany.
That's really cool.
Yeah. No, I got used by a
Oh,
man
no.
dog sit. So
Again, god damn it.
no more military men. It's fine.
No more military men. They seem like they got as much to hide as the drug dealers do.
You want to hear something crazy that I feel like nobody's talking about?
What is
And I'm
it?
sure you have no idea. So on Fort Riley, that's the base that I literally live 5 minutes away from. I'm like 5 minutes from the gate. One of the gates. There was a murder.
Oh,
Like a wife murdered her husband.
oh shit.
Yes. And listen how I don't know the full context
They
of
probably
why.
found out that he was sleeping with the other guys.
That's the thing. We don't know. There's things stating and like posts that she's posted, or I can't find her TikTok now, but like things that she's reposted on TikTok that was public, like talking about how she's crazy and she would murder him if she ever caught him doing stuff or along those lines. The kids were in the house when it happened, but I don't know any other details of that. I do know that after she shot him or whatever, she took off of post, and her fuck up was she went back on post,
Oh shit.
and she got caught at the gate because they obviously like everything was on lockdown and they were checking everybody's vehicles after they found out a soldier was murdered.
Right.
So she's gonna probably spend the rest of her life in jail. I don't know if Kansas is a death penalty state. But yeah, I don't. And there's been stories being told that there was a lot of domestic violence going on, mostly from her, but it could have been double party. I don't want to not like validate the victim and what he went through, but yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
So that was terrifying. That happened 5 minutes from my house.
That is scary.
And just she looked like a sweet, innocent person from her photos. Like if you would look her up on Facebook. How's your lashes going?
Oh, they're good. They're
They're
good. How much longer do we have? We still got a minute, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we still got a little bit.
Yeah.
About 45 more minutes to go, but they're gonna look so cute finally. I had to switch lash techs because like I really didn't want to, but just the way everything played out, it is what it is. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought too.
Do you want to shout out your lash tech for the listeners?
Yeah, it's Taylor Lauren, right? Is that how you say your last name?
Taylor Loren.
Oh, Loren. See, Taylor Loren. That's fancy.
And
Yeah,
she's work out of.
she's
I work at Beautiful, really. I work at a salon down here.
Yeah, she works at a salon down here in the Wheeling area, but she also like a singer. She was also in a music video with Josh from YNC and Mike Jones that I was in back in, what year was that? 2016?
It was 7 years ago because it just popped up on my memory.
2017? No, 16. I don't know. I'm not good at math. 7 years, 2024 minus 7 is,
I think it was about 20.
it might have been 17. Yeah. But it's a really cute little music video too.
Yeah, it is.
I'll have to look it up, and then can you
You
send
really
me
should.
the link to like her social media or anything that she
Yeah.
posts for her lashes so we can put her in the show notes?
Oh yeah, that would be so cool.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, Chris Ann brings in the listeners.
I don't know why they want to hear my crazy ass talk, but I'll talk.
I think it's because of things that people see on Facebook, so they want to see if you're gonna like dish out everything Like,
Right. Yeah, I would never.
I mean,
do
I've
that.
had a few people delete me, and then a couple other, I'm sure, just keep me just to see what you have to say because they're mad.
Yeah.
A few people reacted when I like posted that you was gonna be on the show.
Right. I
Um,
love that for them.
Me too. It makes me so excited to know that you can be on the show and just your existence stirs up some things. Like we still have, when it comes to listeners, we're up 306%
Oh my gosh.
over the last month.
Wow.
And your episode is well over 200 listens, which that's our top episode for, us being a small podcast. So I'm excited to see where it goes, and I have huge plans for us.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be
Future.
good. I have to pop
It's-
off. Why wouldn't it?
Yes, especially with me coming home, it's gonna be more fun. And I told you before, I want to take it into like talking to small businesses in the area as well.
Oh, yeah, I can definitely do that now that I'm unemployed.
Exactly. If you
I mean, I
want,
could have did that employed too. I'm just being an asshole right now. But no, I literally know so many business owners from here just from like doing the daytime stuff for 3 clubs for the last like however many years. Like I know everybody.
so you have more of the connections, and then I got the equipment, and we can just put it
Yes.
together, and it works.
Yes, that's what we're gonna do too.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes, we can start at Melman's cafeteria all the way to like, I mean, hotel businesses. I mean, you name a business, I know the owners, I bet, or at least know a business that's like that where I do know the owners. As far as the t-shirts and stuff go, I'm sure you probably have a Cricket, but Swan Sports Shop in St. C, I know them very well.
My cousin,
I have.
what's his name? Seville.
I don't know if you
I
see.
also do.
Oh, where's that at? In Wheeling?
Yeah, it's right here. I be getting my t-shirts from my
Oh my
friend's
gosh.
podcast up in Columbus. He does the printing and all that.
Okay.
He's getting the stitching stuff too.
Oh my gosh, we just found a new t-shirt spot.
Mhm.
Okay. There's also
All the way to St.
there, there's a site that I use as well for high quantity shirts. Like, well, I didn't do it for my dad's the last benefit he had. I handmade all of my dad's benefit T-shirts, and there was
Emmy,
100
while you're
shirts.
talking about your dad's benefit t-shirt, I tried to order. I paid for 2 of them off that and then she like wouldn't give them to me. So I asked her to just cash out me the money back, and she did like a year later. But I always wanted one of those shirts, and I never got it.
Well, I still have the designs in my Cricut, so I can get you one.
Yeah, I definitely want one.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I sent them all to my dad. So
Yeah, I think there was some Glencoe like backwoods bullshit going on with that. But I mean, they did send me the money back eventually, but it was just weird.
I'm glad they sent you the money back because my dad didn't tell me any of that. So
Yeah, no, your dad didn't even know about it. I messaged the girl because she was like advertising for it, and I was like, oh, I want to help him out. So yeah.
I wonder if that's the girl that he originally was talking about letting her do the stuff, and then he sent it to me, and I told him it looked like shit, so then I took over doing it.
Probably. That's probably
Because
right.
she was doing, like, was the font, like, because she was wanting to do a more, like, feminine font, and it was not my dad.
Honestly,
like-
I don't even remember what it looked like. I seen her in like my Facebook feed, and I seen her say that, and I was like, damn, I need to like get a couple of those. And then yeah, that's what happened. Never got them.
Yeah, I get it's probably because she was the one that they was talking to initially doing them for him, and then my dad was talking about it, and he sent it to me and asked me what I thought about the design, and I was like, it's ugly and it's not you,
Right.
so just let me make them because I know you. He was like, okay, cool. And I made like over 200 shirts
Oh wow.
because
Okay.
I made them all for the club. The club got them cheaper than everybody else. They got them for the cost of materials, and then dad charged everyone else like 20 something bucks. And then I also sold them on Etsy too. And I made
I
a
love
good
Etsy.
chunk of change there.
I bet. Oh, so you have an Etsy shop then, huh?
Not now because I'm like,
Okay.
with me working and stuff, it's too much. Now it's like I do small projects for myself, or if like someone I know personally, they need a small project that I can do like vinyl wise. I don't really like making like the act of making the t-shirts itself. I like designing them and then
Right.
outsourcing for someone else to print it because it's typically cheaper and better than what I can do, and I can admit that.
Right.
But just putting my design on something, or I like designing stickers and whatnot. I just put a decal on my car for the podcast and cut
Oh,
it out.
that's awesome. I need one. I definitely need one for my car.
I'll cut it out and send it to you. They're not super big, but it just says this is BS with Emie and Kylie, and it has like the link tree and a little whatever color you want, just let me know. And I'll cut it out.
Okay, yay. Maybe purple.
Purple. Okay, I got some purple. Since you started dating this man that you feel like is the one for you, is more kids on the table?
I honestly don't really want that to happen right now, at least not this year. And then I don't want to be like an old mom either. I want to be like the cool, young, hot mom. But I already have an 8-year-old daughter that I've already did that with. And then my son's only 2 now. And my son, he's gonna have to wait until he gets a little bit older if I'm ever gonna have another child, because he's definitely me and his dad's child.
Yeah, so he's a little bit of a hellion.
Oh my gosh. He is literally going to be the best football player in the world. The cops are never going to be able to catch him. He's and he's only 2. He's the size of a damn fucking 3rd grader. So, yeah. He wears a size 13C shoe already. Well, it's a 12C, but he already needs the size up, which I think is 13. I don't even know. I didn't even look. Could be
So
one.
then he's bigger than Ambrose.
Yes,
What's your
dude.
belly?
He's 3.5 feet tall, and he doesn't even turn 3 until September 13th is his birthday. So he's literally the biggest 2-year-old I've ever seen in my life. I look so funny carrying him. He's over half my size, half my height. He goes up to his sister's shoulders. She's 8. He literally is. I was always worried about having a son. I didn't want him to be short and little, because my dad was never real tall and I'm short. But yeah, I absolutely have nothing to worry about. He's going to tower over me pretty soon.
It's crazy. That's like my brother Gage is 12 and he's almost as tall as me.
Yeah. See, my little brother Colin is already taller than me, and he's 13.
See. Yeah, Gage. I give Gage another year and he's going to catch up to me, and I'm going to be mad about it.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
then that means all of my little brothers are taller than me, because Gavin's over 6 foot. Alex is way over 6 foot tall, and he just turned 18 last year. And then Gage is catching up. And Gage he's obsessed with football. I think he's more in love with football than Brian was.
See,
But
I
he's
thought you just had Tommy, Brian, and Gage. I didn't know Alex.
There's Gavin and Alex. My mom had 2 other kids with another guy after my dad.
Okay. Said I never drank energy drinks until I met Jared, and then I was like, wow, Red Bull's pretty good.
The strawberry apricot Red Bull is probably my favorite.
That's the one that's his favorite. I like the peach though. The peach is my favorite.
And then over, so every winter and summer they come out with special editions. This past winter it was cinnamon pear, and everyone.
Yeah, I actually know the Red Bull distributor through Godfathers. He brought me some samples of that one, the apple cinnamon one, and then the year before that there was another sample he brought me. And yes, that one reminded me of a Black and Mild and apple cider, and then the one from this year kind of just reminded me of just cinnamon pear juice or something.
It tastes, to me, the cinnamon pear kind of reminded me of apple pie.
Yeah, a little bit. You're right.
And then the fig one, I hated the fig one.
The fig one tasted like Black and Milds.
If it wasn't ice cold, it tasted like mold.
Yeah, really, really good.
I was Red Bull fucked up with that one, but
they did.
The strawberry apricot is still my favorite, and I think it was a top seller, so they kept it on the shelf. So
yeah, there's actually one in my fridge right now that I won't drink because I want a peach one or a regular one. I don't like the blue ones at all. I thought I would, but I don't.
The Juneberry.
Yeah.
I didn't really care for those either. Just the strawberry one, and the pineapple one's good too.
I haven't tried the pineapple one. I bet that one is good.
It's good with vodka.
I bet it is.
That's all I like is vodka. So.
Well, you know, and that's another thing. Like, I have to be really careful drinking, especially in public, just because of like my past and like everybody wanting me to like stay sober all the time and all that. But like, I'm like, if I'm gonna have a couple drinks, I'm gonna have a couple drinks. Like, I'll still go to an NA meeting, I'll still stay in my counseling, but like, I'm not in any trouble and I'm not in any court order like
Right. You
program.
go for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I don't really care about the judgment of others. And honestly, like, I know I could show up to church hungover with makeup on from the night before, and they're still going to give me a hug and pray for me. So, I don't really need to like live my life to impress anybody anymore.
People with addiction, it's just the stopping is the hardest thing because of the, you know, the chemical imbalance from the disease addiction in your brain.
Right.
And I think that's what my oldest brother has a lot of trouble with. I feel like he's talking and acting like he's sober on social media, but I don't think he's sober.
No, he just needs to like, maybe he's worried about trying to impress everybody too. Sometimes it just, that's what it all boils down to, is something that like you don't want to admit to yourself or anybody else.
Yes, like he left rehab, just abandoned the program. And after bouncing between the halfway house and rehab for almost a year at this point, I just pray that he stays away from his wife.
Yeah, I heard she's not a good person, but I've never met her.
She is such a great manipulator.
Gotta be careful for those people.
Like, for a long time, I didn't even know that her and Brian were back on drugs when they were taking care of Pappy. My dad was trying to help him out when he got sober for a little bit and put a camper in his bottom yard for Brian. Brian trashed it so bad.
And your dad's been like battling cancer, plus trying to raise like another whole kid that's 12, right? So like your dad don't have time to be like wasting his efforts to help your brother. That's so sad. I mean, I know that he probably wishes he could, but like it's just not even possible.
My brother owes my dad so much money at this point. It is insane. I'm probably the
Your
only
brother
person.
is so talented too. Like he's just wasting it.
Yeah. And I think most of us are to the point, like, we just have to stop worrying about him because he doesn't want help and he's never wanted help. He victim blames and he pushes everything on my dad and blames my dad for everything. But at some point, like, yeah, my dad's not a perfect dad. He did a lot of things he shouldn't have, but he will own up to it and he's trying to do better for our youngest brother.
Right.
But at the same time, Brian also needs to take accountability and get the help he needs, and he doesn't want to. He just wants to do the "oh, woe is me." He used to, right after my grandparents died, he would message our family members that were kind of long distant and didn't know everything and was asking them for money and saying things like, well, since Nana and Pappy died, I've been really struggling with my mental health and I can't keep a job and my dad won't help me and blah, blah, blah. And like, that's not what was going on. But.
Right. Yeah. The more I think about like drugs, the more I'm just like, wow, like, I mean, I've tried everything, but I'm so glad that like I'm not like that anymore. I wasted so much time.
In a way, I'm thankful I got to see what he was going through, and I was super young, so I got to see it at a young age to know not to do it.
Right. Well, I also seen the same thing, just not from just my brother, but like my mom, my dad, my whole entire family showed me like what not to do. And I still grew up and made a choice to do those things. So, but then I also like grew up even more and put myself through a lot of programs. And now like I'm pretty sure like I feel comfortable saying I can see it from every angle now.
My dad, when I was younger, he wouldn't even let me know that he smoked a cigarette before in his life. Like he was very overprotective in that way with me.
Yeah, and my parents were not. My mom's style was, hey, hand me that spoon on the shelf, and if you tell Mrs. Rinkus at the school, they'll just take you. So my mom was very open about everything, and I've seen a lot of stuff that I shouldn't have seen. But what else was she supposed to do at the same time? Like, I'm not, here to bash my mom or anything, but that's just, I don't know. It's
Like,
things
what
that I
was-
would never do in front of my children were done in front of me.
That's and I didn't really. What was it more like? So middle school is when I started to really see like people using. Because my dad's ex-wife, she used to. I don't know what the situation is now. She has a lot of health problems now, but she used to really love pills.
Mm-hmm.
And she would smoke all the time, which there's nothing wrong with smoking, but it was excessive amounts. And I was scared because like I didn't know any of this world per se.
Right.
And I remember my dad being mad at her all the time for it because she would spend gas money on drugs instead of getting gas money. Like my dad's traumatized from this woman to like if he's dating somebody, he still does the role of I'm gonna take care of you and be the provider when he dates somebody, but I'm not gonna hand you cash to go to the gas station. I'll meet you there after work.
Aw. So I hope his next girlfriend, he doesn't even have to ever question it.
I hope my dad stays single.
Okay.
Who's like been the most influential person in your life?
I can't just say that there's one. I feel like there's like a lot. But of course it would be my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though like I need to learn that I need to take only the good things that she taught me and maybe learn from the bad. But yeah, definitely my mom, definitely well even Raj too, even though it's fuck them now.
I feel like we can say fuck them to certain people, but understand the lessons that we learned from them.
Yeah, definitely. And then even Brian's mom, even Storm's mom and dad, like just I learned do you remember Ariel?
Yeah.
Her grandparents, which her pap, he passed away. He was really, really cool. He was a really positive person in my life. And then her grandma, she's still alive. They're down in Florida. So actually, when I go down there, I need to see where she's at and go visit them. Because they were there for me a lot growing up. Like my mom had to work a lot. My dad was in prison, and most of the time I spent playing at their house. And my mom and dad just happened to own the field right across from their house. So it was like I was still at home, even though I wasn't.
That sounds nice. I feel like we grew up in such a small, like tight knit community in a sense.
Yeah,
And
Brooks
we
Run is actually like I didn't realize it, but now looking back, it's like we're like our own little cult on that side of the Fulton Hill.
And then they have their own Facebook page where they share pictures and stuff. Like the older people who use Facebook, like they share like pretty cool black and white photos. Like there's some that I've seen like I'm happy in.
I'm definitely gonna have to get on there and check it out.
Because many of the same generations of people just like stayed in their home, their family homes, or built family homes there. Like my family was one that did that. Like I mean, and there's still McCorkles living up on the hill besides my dad.
Oh, you heard about Steve, right? The one that keeps getting the cops called on him for shooting guns.
No.
So that's my cousin Josh's dad, and there's a gravel driveway right behind where Haley's parents, I don't know if they still live there or not, but diagonal from Chris's carryout little 3-house thing, there's like a huge long gravel driveway that goes clear up to the hill, and my great pap built that with his own hands and all of his kids. Like after World War II, he had got drafted and he didn't want to be there, so he only stayed a private in the army because that's how bad he didn't want to be there. He was over in Germany like hiding under dead bodies, and it was crazy. Anyway, he when he came back, he married his high school sweetheart, which was my grandma. Her name was Gwendola, and then his name was William. So they ended up marrying each other. They had 6 kids, and they built that house from the ground up and then built another one up there. So there's 2 houses up there. There's one blue one and one yellow one. And my uncle Steve, which would be my grandma's brother, ended up with it because Steve and their sister Sue took power of attorney over my grandpap and put him in a nursing home and took all of his assets. So yeah, but I like Josh, and Uncle Steve's never done anything to me, but my Mimi Joe really says that he's a bad person and not to go up there and he'll shoot you and blah, blah, blah. But I think that I know my Uncle Steve would let me go in my pap's house and he wouldn't try to shoot me. I'm crazier than all of them.
I think that's fucked up. They took all his assets. But
Yeah, it was like And I was too young to realize what was going on. Like my pap passed away, I think in like 2006, I want to say. Like, and I was still in either middle school or elementary school. I can't remember right now. I think middle. But he ended up dying over at the Rolling Hills in Lansing, that little nursing home. Remember the last thing he told me was I was a sweet potato because he was like losing his mind. But my pap was like really, really cool. I always liked hearing his little stories about just life in general. He always had a non-alcoholic beer and he'd sit there at his little bar in the kitchen and eat bananas and peanuts. He was so cool. He drove a blue Jeep.
That sounds like a good memory, like just something to reflect on.
Yeah, it definitely is because I didn't like all my good memories. Like I missed all my family like from Georgia the whole time I was up here. So I didn't get to really appreciate all the family that I did have that were positive up here like him. Because I pretty much got stuck with like my mom, my mom's mom, her brother and sister, and they're all on some bullshit drugs all the time. So well, Mimi Joe's not anymore, but Mimi Joe was wild back in the day. She used to be on them Quaaludes, she claims.
We all got a grandma that was on some BS at some point. My mom's mom, she was a severe alcoholic during my mom's childhood. And now she's just sober. She doesn't really drink. She might go play bingo with her ex-husband, Pap John, but he's not my biological pap, but he's still my pap. Like he was my step grandpa growing up for a good while.
Oh, I love that.
I was always told they got divorced because she made him go bankrupt, but I don't know the full story. So
I'm screaming. Probably, maybe, who knows? Not our business, right?
no, that's their beef. They're apparently fine with it, but
Speaking of bingo, though, I want to go to bingo. I'm going soon. I'm gonna find a little bingo place and go.
I remember her being obsessed with bingo to where she kept her daubers in the back seat. And one time Tommy took the daubers and colored the back seat of her Camaro.
Oh my God.
We were really little, and it was when she lived in South Carolina.
Oh, I bet she was pissed.
So, oh yeah, it was a red '97 Camaro with T-tops.
Oh my God. I won't get in a Camaro just because that's the kind of car that my dad ended up wrecking and passing away in. And then 2 years later, his nephew, my cousin Jesse, also got into a Camaro accident where he was turning on a divided highway. And allegedly this lady was texting and driving, and he lived down in Georgia. So it's very flat there, and it's really dangerous to like cross interstate, especially if you're on the phone. And anyway, he was in an older style Camaro. It didn't even have the seat belts in there properly. The lady didn't see him in time, T-boned him, and that's how he passed away. And it was really sad. He had just had his daughter. Her name was Gracie. He had just me and him talked on the phone every day because he had just came up to visit me and my mom and everybody after he was stuck in Georgia while my dad was in prison. Like the family kind of got broken up for a while. So he was just coming back around, and then all that happened. Really, really sucked. So I will never get into a Camaro ever. Like I'm not.
That is completely fair because then it feels kind of cursed.
Yeah. It's something with like the boys on my dad's side of the family that's like, yeah, and that's why I was also always worried to have a son. But like my son has my last name, which is my mom's last name. So I think I'm safe. I think I broke the curse. Won't ever let him drive a Camaro.
That's fair. Totally fair.
I don't think that he'll fit in one anyway, so I don't think I'll have to worry about it.
You'd be surprised. So in the military community, like Mustangs and Camaros are like the first thing a young soldier buys.
Huh. Mustangs are
That
very
just was-
not, I never liked Mustangs. I don't really know why I don't, but just feel like they're not very safe.
I just buy the small mom cars.
Like the small mom cars, but now after you have two kids, you need a big one. You need like a 2014 Kia Sorento with the moon roof and all that.
See, my car fits 2 car seats in it perfectly.
Okay.
Most people complain because they don't have leg room if they're a little bit taller, but then I tell them, then fine, take your own damn car.
Yeah, true.
My dad definitely would not fit in my car.
I want like a Cadillac really bad, I think, but I don't want to like spend $300 on a headlight when it comes out. So when I trade in my car, I'll probably just get another Kia.
I think this car is gonna be it for a long time because the loan is, I need to refinance next year. but the loan payments are super high because my
That's right.
credit was fucked. But my first big girl car was a 2016 Chevy Cruze.
Oh, did you like it? I always wanted a cruise, but I'd never got one.
I literally wanted to get another one when I was car shopping, but I couldn't. Their value skyrocketed like over the course of COVID. Like they're
really?
insanely expensive right now. Yeah.
Wow.
And so I couldn't get one with I only had $600 for a down payment. And my credit's fucked because a combination of my ex-husband and I.
Right.
And he got to keep his very expensive, fancy Volkswagen. It's a
him.
running.
That's why I would never like.
It's a-
That's why I'm so happy I've never been married, because somebody could have they really could have messed my
I
credit
could have.
score up.
So I could have took half the value of that Volkswagen. Like it's a $30,000 car.
Mm-hmm.
I could have forced him to give me 15 grand or sell the car.
Why didn't you?
Because I wanted it to be over with.
Right.
Like I just wanted no attachment to him at all, like
No,
legally
that's-
anymore. Especially after the things he was claiming and threatening. I just didn't want any involvement with him. I did take like allowed to take half of his retirement. And then military. So they have a housing allowance when you're married.
Oh.
So after I kicked him out, he had to pay me almost $950 a month.
Good.
Yeah. So I got that for a year. It helped me like stay on my feet until like I got taxes that year and our divorce was finalized. But
I love when taxes come in.
me too. All my taxes are hiding so I can use it to move.
Oh, good.
Yeah, but I did buy myself a new coffee pot and Ambrose a bunch of toys. So
Of course. I don't like regular coffee pots. I like not even Keurigs, like the Hamilton Beach ones at the dollar store. Those are my favorite. Like they're just so easy to use. You don't have to change the filter out all the time like you do with the Keurigs. But it's so easy with the K-cups.
I just got a Ninja. It does like a full pot, a half pot, and then also like a cup. Like if you want to, or iced coffee. It's super fancy, but it was on sale for like $80 at our Walmart, so I got it. I was like, I need this.
Yeah,
But we
you'll have
drink.
to tell me how it's working out and stuff.
It is so far. It's pretty amazing. Definitely brews stronger for iced coffee than my Keurig did, which makes me happy because I drink iced coffee all year round.
Mm-hmm.
A very, very coffee-oriented person. Like if I'm not getting coffee at home, I'm going to a local coffee place to get coffee. I need it.
Right.
Get through my day. Like I'm in a very bad mood if I leave for work in the morning and I haven't had coffee.
See, I'm just like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Maybe a chemical imbalance, but I just wake up happy no matter what. Even if I'm in jail, I'll still wake up happy and get on everybody's nerves in there. And they're talking about it's too early. Why is the TV on? Like I'm watching the news. I'm minding my business. Leave me alone.
If I got good sleep, I'd probably wake up the same way, but I don't. Ambrose likes to stay up till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then I have to be getting ready for work at 5 a.m.
Yeah, you definitely need some more sleep, and you probably would have a better.
If I was working a job that was an evening job, it'd probably be easier, but it doesn't work with Ambrose's school schedule.
You found a support system all the way out in Kansas too.
Yeah, that was something I think that's why I stayed so long in my marriage, because I was scared of being so far away from my family. Like come the year of my marriage, I was like, I don't want to be in this, but then I had no money, no vehicle, no way to support myself. I only had Kylie as a friend, and I wasn't super close with her family at that point like I am now. So it took some time.
At least you got it all, it's all finalized and you guys are divorced now, right?
Yes, we've been divorced since March. Was it March 3rd of 2023? So
wow, so almost a year. Wait, is it over a year now? Is today the 4th?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And
so yesterday was their anniversary of being divorced.
When I asked my therapist, I made the joke because I got my divorce decree, and I was like, is it wrong of me to want to frame this and hang it up on the wall? And she was like, why would you want to do that? And I was like, just a reminder of what I had to go through for those 2 years to just survive.
Right.
And she goes, I wouldn't do that. She goes, keep it, but don't hang it up on your wall.
Yeah, he's not worth it.
No, he's some other girl's problem, and she'll learn her lesson too. But it's okay.
They all end up, yeah, they all
just
do.
like my baby daddy's girlfriend is learning her lesson, and I think that's why she's been getting a little bit more reachy out to me.
Yeah,
So.
probably because she's like, damn, like Emmy's not crazy. This guy really is the problem.
Yeah, there's another guy. I promised my therapist I wouldn't date like after for a year. I was like, I won't date for a year. It's fine. She goes, yeah, you really need to take that time. Okay, my dumbass did not listen.
Oh no.
And started dating someone also in the military. But I thought it would be better because he was older. He had been more mature. Like he's in his 30s, right? He was so much worse. He was better at hiding.
Ugh, that's scary.
His abuse. It was scary. And he has 2 ex-wives and he's a deadbeat dad of 3 kids. But I left him because he started to like want to control what I was wearing and call me names for what I was wearing.
Yeah,
Which
so
I don't fly with me. And then there's some things that were like I could see the flags of him trying to isolate me from my friends. So I broke it off before he went on a deployment.
Oh wow.
But in that same week of me breaking it off, he was beating on my front door while I wasn't home, begging for me to like stay with him and texting me, asking me if we could hang out, like sleep together one more time before he left because he needed me. But then he also had a whole nother girlfriend in the same week.
Yeah, that's.
And when I found out about this said girlfriend, like I reached out to her because I have herpes. I'm very vocal about that. You know it.
Right.
And I reached out to her and I was like, being the good person, trying to be like, hey, I'm just letting you know, like, I just broke up with Karen. I don't know if you guys were fucking while we were together or not, whatever. Like, I just want you to know, like, I have herpes. If he didn't tell you, also please be careful with him. He is so infatuating and charismatic in the beginning, but once you move in with him, like shit changes. And she like seemed to be like, oh, okay, I'm so sorry, and in shock. Like I thought like she was gonna listen, but then she came back and was like, fuck you, and thought I was a liar. So then I was like, okay, just that's fine. Do you have anything else you want to talk about that's going on in your world right now?
Next time I'm gonna make sure I have notes organized for you two, and we'll start like making this a bigger thing now that I have more time.
Well, we gotta work on changing names and like making code names for specific.
Yes, well, I found this new AI thing that I've been working on for like names. I'll have to show it to you.
Okay, yes, and then we can just write up some code names for people, and then I'll once you have them, I'll write them down so I can keep track of who's who until I memorize. Right. That'd be so funny to have a fucking flow chart.
I mean, I do have a flow chart. I have several. I'm gonna have to like share my screen with you, or like send you the link to the Google
Just
Doc.
send me.
Yeah, so we can keep adding to it like what we already have. You will not believe it. Like it's crazy.
We can definitely do that, and then introduce, new characters is what we can refer to them as.
Yes, and then that's a great idea. This is going to be so fun.
Especially when I'm able to come home and get the studio set up, because I know it's going to take me a few months, but I'm so excited.
Yeah, but still, it'll be cool. And then until you have yours set up, you can always come to my apartment, and I have like a little office set up in my corner right now.
Oh, thank you for bullshitting with me today, Kristen.
Yeah, no, well, have a good day. It was nice talking.
You too. Nice talking to you. Hey everybody, Emmy here. On behalf of the BS podcast, I'm just here to let you guys know how much we appreciate you and appreciate you guys taking the time to listen, to share, to like, and comment on all of our episodes. Don't forget to check out our Facebook page, and if you want to help support us in other ways, check the links below or go to our link tree at linktr.ee/BS podcast. And again, thank you guys for listening.